Free VPNs promise one thing: privacy. They claim to hide your identity, protect your data, and keep your browsing secure. Millions of people install them every year, believing they've just upgraded their online security. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Some free VPNs don't protect your privacy. They profit from it. In many cases, the real product being sold is you, your browsing activity, your connection data, even your personal information. And the companies offering free protection may be collecting far more data than you realize. Before we dive into how this works, subscribe to Threat Lens. On this channel, we break down real cybersecurity threats and online privacy risks so you can understand how digital systems actually work. Because the more you understand the threats, the better you can protect yourself online. Now, let's start with the most important question. Why free VPNs exist. Running a VPN service is not cheap. A legitimate VPN company must maintain secure servers across multiple countries, high-speed infrastructure, encryption systems, customer support teams, security audits, network monitoring. All of this costs money, a lot of money. So if a VPN service is completely free, you should ask a simple question. How are they making their money? Because servers, bandwidth, and security infrastructure still need to be paid for somehow. And in many cases, the answer is data collection. Data selling by VPN providers. When you use a VPN, all of your internet traffic passes through that VPN's servers. That means the provider sits directly between you and the websites you visit. They can potentially see the websites you connect to, the time you connect, the amount of data transferred, your device information, your IP address before it is masked. In other words, the VPN provider becomes a powerful data gatekeeper. Some free VPN services monetize this position by collecting and selling browsing data. This information may be shared with advertising networks, data brokers, marketing companies, analytics platforms. While the data may sometimes be aggregated, it still represents a detailed picture of user behavior. And because VPN users believe they are browsing privately, many never realize their activity is being monitored. This practice completely contradicts the purpose of using a VPN in the first place. You install a VPN to protect your privacy, but some free services transform that privacy into a revenue stream. The problem with logging policies. Another major issue with free VPNs involves logging policies. A VPN log refers to records of user activity stored by the VPN provider. These logs can include information such as connection timestamps, IP addresses, bandwidth usage, websites visited, device identifiers. Some VPN providers claim to operate under no-log policies, but not all companies follow through on that promise. In fact, several investigations over the years have revealed that some VPN providers quietly stored user logs despite advertising otherwise. Why does this matter? Because if a VPN company keeps logs, those records can potentially be sold, hacked, requested by authorities, leaked during data breaches. When logs exist, privacy disappears. This is why reputable VPN services emphasize independent audits that verify their no-logging claims. Without external verification, users must simply trust what the company says. And unfortunately, trust is not always justified. Free VPNs and malware risks. One of the most dangerous risks associated with free VPNs is malware bundling. Some free VPN apps distributed online have been found to include hidden software designed to track user behavior, inject advertisements, collect personal data, install additional applications. In some cases, VPN apps have even been linked to spyware or malicious tracking tools. Because VPN apps require deep access to your internet connection, they often request extensive permissions during installation. Users typically accept these permissions without question, but once installed, a malicious VPN app could potentially monitor a wide range of activity on the device. This creates a situation where the tool meant to increase security actually becomes a security threat. Cybersecurity researchers have repeatedly warned about suspicious VPN applications found in mobile app stores. Some apps advertised as privacy tools were discovered to collect sensitive data, communicate with unknown servers, display intrusive ads, or silently track user activity. For users who installed these apps expecting privacy protection, the results were the opposite. The bandwidth trap, another tactic used by some free VPN providers, is bandwidth limitation. Free VPN plans often restrict connection speed, data usage, server locations. While this may appear to be a simple business model designed to encourage upgrades, it can also create privacy risks. Limited bandwidth sometimes pushes users toward less secure servers or congested networks. This can increase exposure to connection instability or monitoring. Some free VPN services have even been accused of turning user devices into network nodes, routing traffic from other users through their connections. This means your internet connection could potentially be used to carry traffic generated by someone else. In certain cases, that traffic could include activities you are not aware of. Mid-video subscribe reminder. If you're learning something new about how digital privacy tools actually work, take a moment to subscribe to Threat Lens. Most people install apps believing they're improving their security, but understanding how these tools operate behind the scenes is critical in today's internet environment. Now let's talk about something important. Not every VPN is dangerous, but choosing the right one requires careful evaluation. How to choose a secure VPN. If you decide to use a VPN, there are several key factors you should examine before trusting a provider. Transparent logging policies. A trustworthy VPN should clearly explain what data they collect, what data they do not collect, how long data is stored, why it is stored. Look for providers that undergo independent audits verifying their no-log claims. Independent security reviews and credibility to privacy promises. Strong encryption standards. Reliable VPN services typically use modern encryption protocols, such as OpenVPN, WireGuard IKF2. These protocols protect your internet traffic from interception. Avoid services that do not disclose their encryption standards. Transparency is essential for trust. Company reputation. Before installing any VPN, research the company behind it. Look for security reviews, independent testing reports, privacy policy transparency, history of data breaches. A VPN provider handling sensitive user traffic must have a strong security reputation. Clear business model. One of the most important indicators of trust is a sustainable business model. If a VPN company offers completely free services without explaining how they fund operations, users should proceed cautiously. Many reputable VPN providers operate on subscription models where users pay a monthly or annual fee. While paying for privacy tools may not seem appealing, it often ensures the company's incentives align with protecting customers rather than monetizing them. Understanding the trade-off. Free services on the internet almost always involve a trade-off. If a company provides infrastructure, bandwidth, and software at no cost, they must generate revenue somewhere. Sometimes that revenue comes from advertising. Sometimes it comes from data collection. And sometimes it comes from both. This is why cybersecurity experts often repeat a simple phrase: if the product is free, you may be the product. In the context of VPNs, that statement can be especially relevant, because when your internet traffic flows through a VPN server, the provider has the potential to observe large amounts of sensitive data. Choosing the wrong provider could expose exactly the information you were trying to protect. When a VPN actually helps despite these risks, VPNs can still be useful tools when used properly. Legitimate VPN services can help with securing connections on public Wi-Fi, preventing local network monitoring, protecting data on unsecured networks, reducing ISP tracking. However, a VPN should never be treated as a complete privacy solution. Even with a VPN, websites can still track users through cookies, browser fingerprinting, account logins, device identifiers. Privacy protection requires multiple layers, not just a single tool. The bigger lesson about online privacy, the story of free VPNs, reflects a larger pattern across the internet. Many apps and services market themselves as privacy solutions while quietly collecting data in the background. This doesn't mean every free service is dangerous, but it does highlight the importance of asking critical questions before installing software that handles sensitive information. Understanding who operates the service, how they make money, and what data they collect can help users avoid serious privacy risks. Awareness is one of the most effective defenses in cybersecurity. Final thoughts. Free VPNs often promise anonymity, security, and protection, but some of them deliver the exact opposite. Instead of shielding your data, they may collect it. Instead of protecting your browsing, they may monitor it. And instead of strengthening your privacy, they may quietly profit from it. This doesn't mean VPN technology is unsafe, but it does mean users must carefully evaluate the providers they trust with their internet traffic. Because when it comes to privacy tools, who you trust matters just as much as the technology itself. Final CTA. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe to Threat Lens. On this channel, we expose real cyber threats, online scams, digital privacy risks, and the tactics used by attackers across the internet. Understanding the threat is the first step towards stopping it. Like the video, share it with someone who cares about online security and stay ahead of modern digital risks. Because in cybersecurity, awareness is one of the strongest defenses you have.